Proverbs 19 verse 9. A false witness will not go unpunished, and one who declares lies will perish. Explanation. This proverb is one of the clearest warnings in the entire book of Proverbs about the seriousness of lying. God does not treat deception as a minor character flaw or a clever strategy to get ahead. He sees it as a direct attack on truth, justice, and ultimately on his own character. Scripture repeatedly tells us that God is a God of truth, Deuteronomy 32:4, Titus 1:2. And because he cannot lie, those who habitually embrace falsehood place themselves in opposition to him. The verse begins with the words, "A false witness will not go unpunished." In ancient Israel, a witness could determine the outcome of a legal case. A dishonest witness could destroy another person's reputation, freedom, possessions, or even life. God therefore took false testimony extremely seriously. Today, the principle extends far beyond a courtroom. A false witness can be anyone who deliberately twists facts, spreads half-truths, edits out important details, or creates a misleading narrative to make someone else appear guilty or themselves appear innocent. This happens every day in families, workplaces, churches, friendships, politics, social media, and even in the news. One of the greatest temptations today is the ability to shape a story instead of simply telling the truth. With selective screenshots, edited videos, carefully chosen words, or public accusations, people can influence how others are perceived. Many assume that if enough people believe their version of events, it becomes reality. But Proverbs reminds us that while people may be fooled, God never is. Notice that the verse says, "will not go unpunished." It does not specify when. Sometimes the consequences come quickly through damaged relationships, loss of credibility, exposure, or legal consequences. Other times a person may appear to prosper for years. This can tempt believers to wonder whether justice will ever come. The Bible consistently teaches that God's justice may be delayed, but it is never absent. Ecclesiastes reminds us that God will judge every deed. Jesus himself said that every careless word will be accounted for. No lie escapes his knowledge. The second half of the proverb becomes even stronger, and one who declares lies will perish. This describes someone whose life becomes characterized by deception, rather than an occasional sinful word that is confessed and forsaken. This person continually breathes out lies as a way of life. Lies become their weapon, their protection, and eventually their identity. The Hebrew idea carries the picture of someone who keeps pouring out falsehood. Such a lifestyle cannot endure forever because lies require more lies to support them. Eventually, the entire structure collapses under its own weight. History is full of examples of individuals, corporations, governments, and public figures whose carefully constructed false narratives eventually unraveled. Spiritually, persistent deception is even more dangerous. Jesus called Satan the father of lies, John 8, verse 44. Every deliberate lie aligns itself with his kingdom rather than God's kingdom of truth. This is why Christians are repeatedly commanded to lay aside falsehood and speak truth, each one of you with his neighbor. Ephesians 4, verse 25. This proverb also offers encouragement to those who have been falsely accused or misrepresented. Being the victim of lies is deeply painful. It can damage reputations, relationships, careers, and families. Yet Proverbs 19:9 reminds believers that ultimate justice does not depend on winning every argument or correcting every rumor. God knows exactly what happened. He sees every hidden motive, every distorted account, every omitted fact, and every deliberate deception. Nothing remains hidden before him. That does not mean Christians should seek revenge or return falsehood for falsehood. Instead, they are called to continue walking in integrity, trusting that God is the defender of truth. While lies may seem powerful for a season, they are temporary. Truth belongs to God, and because it belongs to him, it ultimately prevails. Proverbs 19 verse 9 therefore calls every believer to examine not only the accuracy of what they say, but also the motives behind it. Are we presenting the whole truth? Are we speaking honestly even when it costs us? Are we resisting the temptation to reshape events in our favor? In a culture where image often matters more than integrity and where narratives can spread around the world in seconds, this ancient proverb is more relevant than ever. God is not impressed by persuasive stories or popular opinions. He honors truth. Those who cling to deception may appear successful for a time, but their foundation is unstable. Those who walk in truth can rest confidently, knowing that the God of truth sees everything and will bring perfect justice in his time.